Me standing up, please. You have a thick, heavy book. Mute yourselves if you don't mind. Feel free to play your own music, even though it doesn't match. All right, and then when you're there, we'll just start with those shoulder rolls. You can let the ribs lift for these first few, extending through your spine, rounding that upper back, and then lifting and squeezing. A couple more here. And then this time, bring your fingertips gently to the edges of your skull. You're not grabbing and pushing on your skull. Nod your head yes, and push back into your hands. At the same time, open your elbows. And at the same time, instead of letting those ribs pop, let's pull those down. So head comes in line, chest stays open, not because we're squeezing our shoulder blades, but because we're lengthening through the front of the elbows. Back of the neck is long. You're in a slightly nodded yes position. Challenge yourself to press a little more into your head, back of your head into your fingers, and open those elbows a little more, pull those ribs a little more, holding a couple seconds, and relax, bring that down. That should bring some energy here. I'm going to start a little step touch. And we're going to mosey our way towards your hook. You're going to step up with your right foot and down with your left, up with your right and down with your left. Arms keep going. There's two more like this. And then, oops, however you want to get to the other side without breaking your ankle. Move to the other side. Woo, that was fun. And step up and over. What do I get for looking there instead of here? And then just two more on this side. And then you can either go up and over or however. We're going to do that step up again with the, sorry, those same arms. And then you're going to change those arms to running arms. And let's bring that into a knee lift. And then change those arms to a beautiful squeeze. This time you are using those shoulder blades as you curl that hamstring. And now we're going to take that into an extension, arms and legs. And then we're coming back down to that little step touch. Just 4 of these. We were here, huh? And then running arms, knee lift. And then squeeze and curl. And then extend and extend. And then 2 tap ups. 2 knees, running arms. 2 squeezes and curls. 2 extensions. 1 of each. Step up, knee lift, squeeze it, extend it, woo, up and over you go. All right, starting with just those step ups. Other side, if you didn't get that message. And then we're going to go to those knee lifts. Running arms. And then we go to a hamstring curl with those squeezing arms. And then we extend. Breaking that in half, we have 4 step ups. 4 knee lifts. 4 curls. 4 extensions. 2 tap ups. 2 knees. 2 curls. And 2 extensions. And then we go 1 of each, 1 tap, 1 knee, 1 curl, 1 extension. Woo! Up and over you go. Let's go wide stance. Make your way down, bent knees, long spine, shoulders out of your ears, chest broad, abs in, support yourself. Roll just the tailbone under and then extend it. So just a cat-cow in your tailbone and hip area. And then add the belly button. And then add the mid back. And then add the upper back. And then finally drop that right shoulder in, press that leg open, look over to your left. Back through center, other way. And back to the first side. And back to the second. Woo, big deep breath in. Hands come down. We're going to be back up on that book for the first round of lower body work. Right foot up on that book, abs in. We're going to start with that tiny little bend. So my left foot is flexed. I'm going to bend the right knee so my left heel barely taps and comes up. There's no push off on this left leg. It's all because that right foot, that right knee is bending and stretching. So you shouldn't pop up like that, right? That left leg is nice and straight, so you can tap that heel. It's not a lift and lower up and down, it's just tap down. And you should start to feel this in that right quad and that right glute. All right, leave it up here. This time we're going to let the hip jut out to the side and then tuck it under. Jut it out, tuck it under. Left foot can either hang up against the book for easier, right? A little easier on your balance, or you can have it off the book. I'm not lifting my left leg, right? This is all happening because my right hip goes to the right and then tucks under. Tuck it under, tuck it under. If you want to put your hand there to give yourself some feedback to understand it better, it juts out, it comes under. Ow. Ow. Hopefully you feel this in that outer hip area. Couple more. And relax. Oh, right leg over left. Now we'll push that same hip way over to the right, reach to the left, and then we'll separate the feet a little bit. Same thing, we're going to come down. We're going to roll through that cat, inhale through that cow. Place your tailbone long so you're not rounded. Make sure you're pulling in with those abdominals. Support with that left hand, reach that right arm up, 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 and over you go. And we're up on that book with the left foot. Abs in. I think my dictionary is starting to get a little, like when a mattress, you always sleep in the same spot. Here we are, you're going to bend that left knee and tap the right heel. Again, you're not pushing off with that right foot, just bending and straightening the left leg. Very small movement, just working that last basically 30 degrees, if even that, of flexion. That's where we need to be for starting to build that good strength. Almost there. Beautiful. And now we hover that foot in space or put it up against the book. Hip goes to the left and then we tuck under. Over and under. Over and under. Right? So your hips are jostling to the left and then tucking right underneath you. Give it a little extra squeeze as they lift under you. Almost there. And bring that down. Left over right, arms up and over, push the hips to the left. And then pivot, widen that stance a little bit. Come on down, roll through cat, inhale through cow, and then really extend that spine. Sit your weight back into that. Right leg, tailbone long, support with that right hand, left arm up, up, up. And over you go. All right, back up on that book with your right foot again, abs in. This time we're gonna let those toes come forward and glide back. Come forward and glide back. And you can stay here with your arms. You can do port bras arms if you want. Just two more here. Same thing to the side, we stretch it out and bring it up. And again, whatever you want to do with your arms. Last one this way and bring it up. All right, straighten out that left leg, flex through that quad, reach back and try and reach back by sitting into your right leg, not by hinging forward, right? And then come up, reach back and come up. You might want to add little baby arms. You can lengthen those arms all the way up. But you're really going to feel this one in that right glute. Almost there. Last two. Bring that up. Once again, right over left. Push the hips to the right, arms to the left. And then bring it up. We get to do that with the left foot on the board. So again, we bend the knee to let the toes come forward. Feel free to stay there, hands apart, or add your arms. There's two more this direction. And then we go to the side, reach it and come back. Reach it over and come back. Last one in this direction. Beautiful. Bring it up. Stretch that right leg back, bend into that left. Keep that chest lifted, long line through your spine, and option to lift your hands if you want. Almost there. Two more. Bring it up. Up and over you go with your left leg. Let's go left, arm to the right. All right, and now we're going to do some calf work. So either your chairs or the wall. All right. Left foot up on the book, maybe just the heel hanging off a little bit more midway through the arch. And then right foot is hanging out in space. My heel is lower than the book. Find that posture. So zip up those abs, pull those ribs in, broad across the chest, arm up or out, in front, doesn't matter. Drop the heel, come even. Drop it, come even. Now come above the book and go even with it, above it and even. And then you're going to go all the way below the book, through center, even, and above. All the way down, through center, and above. Almost there. Woo! Hopefully we felt that. So just back up a little bit with your right foot. Slide that left foot a little bit off the book so you can drop the heel. Keep your hips tucked under. If you push them out, you're avoiding the stretch. So you want those hips tucked under. And then to deepen the stretch, bend that left knee. And then pivot the foot out and the heel in and drop. Bend the knee. And then turn the toes in, heel out, and drop. It feels really, really good. And then bend that knee. All right, other foot. So right foot is going to go up on that book, just the heel and maybe the last part of the arch is off. And we lower the heel and come even. Broad across the chest, suspended through an imaginary string, lifting your head up. And then we go above the book, up, 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 and even with the book. Above the book, and even with the book. And then we do full range below the book, even with the book, above the book, below, even, and above. Just a few more here. Last two, and last one. Woo! Left foot comes down, slide that right foot a little further back so you can drop the heel, tuck those hips under, get a beautiful stretch here. And then bend that back knee. And then toes roll out, heel rolls in, drop it, bend it. And then we'll do the other way, toe in, heel out. Oh, that feels so good. And bend it. And then come on off your book. We're going to use that book to elevate our feet. So you're going to make your way to the back of your mat. Come on up on that book with your toes. We're going to do a set of Pilates push-ups. So remember, your hands are right underneath you. Elbows bend backwards and straighten. Bend and straighten. If you have any wrist issues, you're welcome to fold your mat a little bit so the heel of the hand is on the mat, your fingers are off. Try and move up and down as a unit, even if it's a small range. And relax. Woo! Press back for a second. Walk your hands over to one side and rotate the thumbs up. And then other side, thumbs up. All right. Come down onto your forearms for just a second. We're going to grab a quick plank as a break, believe it or not. So find your forearms. You can drop all the way down, a little chest stretch. Pull your shoulders back, abs in, pull the ribs back, belly button back, and then as you're ready, tuck those toes and press into the heels to lift into your plank. Head in line with your spine, shoulders out of your ears, nice and broad, belly button in, heels are pressing, thighs are lifting. And once again, you're going to relax. You can use that book if you want. Sit back in your shell stretch for a moment. All right, and then we have one more set of push-ups, but this time you get to choose. You can stick with those Pilates push-ups, or if you prefer, you can go to that wider angle. You get to choose. Toes on that book, long, flat, straight line in your body, and up and down you go. Almost there. And relax. Oh, once again, press back. This time, see if you could rotate your palms all the way up to the ceiling. And then as you come forward, we're going to stay down on our forearms. We're going to move that book behind our right leg. So we're doing this from down on our hands and knees instead of standing. Just hopefully it might allow that book not to be so slippery or fall as far. All right, so bring that heel really close to your hip. You're down on your forearms, but your abs are drawn in, your head is in line. Flex through that heel and lift that book up in the air. Tap the knee down and lift up. Try and keep this movement isolated into your leg and your hip. Try not to let the whole body move with it. So working our glutes, a little bit of low back. You're going to feel your hamstrings some since they're holding that book. Almost there. And relax. You can let your book fall off. Now that book comes behind the left leg. And again, want to get that heel very close to our hip. Line yourself up again. So keep a nice straight line in your upper body. Almost here. And relax. All right, you're going to put that book on your mat. You're going to spin around and sit on it for a quick little hamstring stretch. So bring your left leg in, right leg off to the side with a bend in it. Give yourself a beautiful hinge, not rounding, sitting tall. And then you can see if you could play with straightening out that leg so long as that spine stays tall. If the knee stays bent, it's okay. You're still getting that hamstring stretch so long as you're in extension, not flexion of the spine. And then we'll go the other way. So right leg comes in, left leg off to the side, start with a beautiful bend, give it a hinge, and then start to play with it. All right, bring that up. Okay, we're going to get some outer hip now, and we're actually going to be all the way down in our lying down position for clam. Legs are stacked, book is on that top leg, and your hand is pressing it down into your thigh. Arm underneath your ear, from your hip to your head, you're a long straight line, waistline lifted, toes pivot out, heels together, pivot open. And again, keep that book down, not on your knee, but closer to your knee. And you're pressing the book against your thigh with your hand. Two more here. And then we'll pivot so the knees are in the air, and we'll do that same thing. Wait, just two more. And relax. Hopefully that top hip felt that. So roll over onto your spine, hugging that knee in, give it a tug and pull it across to the opposite shoulder. And then the other leg comes behind. You're gonna reach around, grab the hamstring, pull it in, and take a little rock side to side. If you want to deepen that stretch, reach around for your shin instead. And then you're just going to stay on this side for now. We're going to take that book down where our feet are going to be for a side plank. If you need a little extra cushioning, feel free to fold your mat. Try and line yourself up so that when you come up, your hips won't be hinged back. So scoochie yourself forward a little bit. Chest, same thing. And then as you're ready, come up in that side plank on the book. And we'll just hold this, but if you wanted to do a little arch, you're welcome to. You could do a little dip, but not very big. You could put those two together. And relax. All right, other side. We'll start with that clam on the other side. So pivot, stack your knees, stack your hips, hand on top of that book. Oh, stretch it out with that waistline, heels together, toes apart, pivot open. And then we'll keep the knees down, heels in the air, and pivot open. And relax. Give those hips a little love. Roll over onto your spine, hold that leg in, give it a moment, and then cross it over the opposite leg. Bend that opposite leg, either reaching for the hamstring or the shin, and pull in and give it a little rock side to side. And then we'll go ahead and set that book at the bottom of your mat for that side plank. Again, doing your best as you get here to line feet, knees, hips, shoulders, all in a nice long straight line. And then bring yourself up into that side plank. Option to hold it or give it a little lift and a tiny dip. And relax. All righty. And now we get to go back to our hamstrings. So you may want to, you want to have a little extra space down on the floor. So maybe just scoot your mat out of the way just a tiny bit and then slide that book out there. Hips are going to be on the mat. And you want to start with that right foot on the book, but it's ahead of where it normally would be. So you're not way back here. Your leg is out on a slight angle. And then we're just going to start by lifting those hips up. And you should feel a little extra love on that right hamstring. And then if that's okay, bring that left knee into your chest. Again, more on that right hamstring. If that's okay, extend that leg up and lower and lift without moving that right knee at all. And then knee into your chest hips down, foot down. Woo, right leg in, and let's just take it for a moment, just hold it here. Try not to get excited with it. Bring it in a little bit, bring it out a little side to side, and then bring it over to the right. Maybe hug that knee in. And then finally, if you want, flex that heel to the sky, pull the toes back. And then we get to do the other side. So notice where your book is and just slide it over so your left heel can be on it. And again, you can see the angle isn't way close like this. It's pretty far out there. So a little extra challenge. Deep breath in, exhale, lift the hips up. You should already feel that left hamstring a little more engaged. If you want a little more, bring that right knee in. If you want a little more, it goes up. And finally, can you lift and lower it? And then knee in, foot down, hip down, very gently, just give that left knee a moment to, that left hamstring a moment. And maybe try a little side to side. And then bring it towards your left shoulder. And then if you're feeling like it, go ahead and pull those left toes back. Press that left knee in. And then you're going to go ahead, you can take your mat, if you had folded it up, you can go ahead and bring it back. And we're going to start with holding on to that book right above our chest. You can use your palms underneath if you don't want to grip it. Deep breath in. Exhale, press the hands to the sky. Keep awareness that the ribs stay down. Inhale, reach your arms overhead without letting those ribs pop up. Exhale, back to center and down. Deep breath in, prepare. Exhale, lift. Inhale, stretch, reach. And exhale, back down. Prepare with an inhale. Exhale, lift and stretch. Inhale, overhead. You are welcome if you want to. You can add that head lift with it. Don't have to. And last time, let's leave that arm overhead, way up so your ribs pop, and then exhale and bring the ribs in, up and over and back to center. Up and over, back to center. Two more like this with both hands. Last time, up and over. Move the book to just your left hand. Right hand on those ribs, so as your left arm goes overhead, you notice those ribs don't pop up. And then we go overhead, almost touching the ground, and back up. And then up and over, you're going to bend the elbow, straighten the elbow, come back up. Up and over, bend, straighten, and up. Up and over, bend, straighten, and up. And then this time, leave those arms over that arm overhead and just straighten. Work that tricep, straighten, straighten, straighten. And relax. You can rest the book on you. Fingers come back to face you, elbow up high. You can move around. I like to bring those fingers pretty close to get a deeper stretch. And then we'll move it to the right hand. So up and over you go. Left hand rests on your ribs so that you know they're not moving up and down as you move your arm up and down. And then we add that bend, straighten as you come up and over, bend, straighten, and up. Good, and then up and over, we're just gonna bend and straighten. And relax. Once again, turn your fingers toward your shoulder, press that elbow to the sky, get that beautiful hamstring stretch, or excuse me, tricep stretch. And then we're gonna bring that book down to our shins and use that to help compress everything in for a moment. And then we're gonna hope that that book could stay between our knees and our calves, legs in tabletop, arms into a T. We're gonna go left and center only, left and center, left and center. One more like that. Keep your head pressed into the back of the ground or back of the head. We're gonna go right and center. Notice if one side doesn't go as far, rather than push it to go further, just want you to get it even. So we come back to center. Go left only as far as your right leg, right side went. Or go right only as far as your left went. We may feel some inner thigh because we're holding that book so tightly. Couple more. And take a break. Soles of the feet come together, book just rests on your ribs. Passive, brief stretch. And then right back that book goes. And we're going to try our toe touch, holding onto this book. It adds a little bit of weight, but a little bit of weight feels like a lot. So be really conscientious that your ribs stay knitted down and together. Your low back stays the same distance from the ground, whether that's pressed into the ground or if that is neutral with a little space. And we'll relax. Woo, once again, soles of the feet together. Let that inner thigh get a break. And then stretch those legs out. Take that book overhead. Reach the arms long, point the toes, just feel a beautiful stretch down your spine. And then flex through the heel, press your low back into the ground, tuck those hips under, feeling a stretch on the back side of your body. And then inhale, point again, and exhale, flex again. All right, gently slide that left knee in, foot on the ground, and then book goes behind that right hamstring, pull it in, bring it up and over towards your right, and then over toward that armpit. So you're bringing it in and over, in and over. And then see if you can take the book about halfway down so it pushes against your calf muscle and your hamstring, and then try to push down on your shin and see if you can just get a little bit of what we'll call pressure point. And if you start to move your right foot at the ankle, or even press forward and back, you're going to feel that pressing against the calf. And maybe you'll see, understand, or feel what I'm talking about. And then back to center we go. This time we're going to flip the book. So it pushes the knee down towards the armpit and pushes the calf perpendicular with the floor. You can rotate again through that foot. And then we're going to straighten the leg. You can either bring that book to the hamstring or the calf. If you wanted a big challenge, you could put the book on your foot. You might not be able to get straight, but you're going to feel it differently. And then let's see if we can slide that left leg out on the ground and flex through that heel. And then we're going to move that book out of the way. Lower that right leg and take a moment. And then we'll even up by bending both knees again. Left one comes in. We're going to bring that book behind that knee. We'll just do a little movement. And then see if you can bring that book so it pushes against the calf muscle and the hamstring, and then compress it. And then this is where you want to move through that ankle so you can really feel how that edge of that book might press up against the calf muscle, or you might not. And then we'll bring everything to center. And we're gonna flex through the heel. We're gonna push the thigh toward the ribs and press the calf perpendicular with the ground. And then again, you can stay there, hamstring stretch here, or you can try putting that book on your foot. And then, oh, we should have stretched out that right leg. Oops, sorry. There we go. All right. Bring that book over to your right side where your right hand will be able to slide under it in a moment. Bend the left knee, take the right ankle across the left and open up into your figure four. Reach around, and again, for a little extra challenge, see if you can grab the left shin. Hug the knees in to deepen that stretch and a little bit over to the left, but mostly pull it in. And then cross the right all the way over the left. Right hand grabs the left knee, left hand grabs the right. We pull it apart. And then this is where, if you can, just slip that right hand underneath your butt to help keep the shoulder down as those legs travel to the left. And then we come back up through center, uncross, recross left over right. At some point, see if you can move that book over to the left. Thread your needle or reach around for that shin for a deeper stretch. Pull the knee in and a little to the right, but mostly pulling that right knee in. And then crisscross left over right. Right hand grabs that left knee, left hand grabs the right, pull apart. And then if you're able to slip your left hand under that book, that's awesome. As your knees travel to the right or twist to the right. And then you're going to drop both knees, uncross them to the right, bring your arm underneath your right ear, left hand in front. And then use that left hand to lift yourself up over onto all fours for me, please. Glide those hands out front and undulate through a cow-cat. And then we'll stack and tuck those toes. We'll lift those knees and hover. And then press it back. Give me a nice wide stance. Bend the knees, elbows on your thighs, roll cat. Inhale cow, and then use that cow position to lift your chest. Eventually straighten out your legs. And we curtsy. And thank you.